Right, with the change in the economy that's taken place with recession and recovery, the regional agenda has become more and more important. Recruitment and retention of talent has become more crucial to employers and to regions. And as the recovery has grown in pace, we're starting to see skill shortages, which means that employers have recruitment and retention issues that they want to look at. And a lot of this is linked into graduate migration. So when we look at the populations of graduates who migrate, we see that the UK is unquestionably not a homogenous labour market. In different parts of the UK, graduates are moving in and moving out in different ways and for different reasons. It's much easier to retain graduates who are originally from a region than it is to those who studied there, for a range of reasons, partly because of historic weakenings in local labour markets and the strengthening of London as an employer, but also because those graduates who have lived and studied in a region are much more committed to those regions. One thing that we've noticed through the work that we've done is that graduates are a good deal less mobile than we thought. So if you're a university, say the University of Manchester, your graduates are most likely to do one of three things. They like to stay in Manchester to work, they like to go home to where they were originally domiciled, or they're likely to go to London. What they're not particularly likely to do is go to another part of the country which they didn't have a previous connection. Once we start to understand that, it becomes a good deal easier to understand the movements of graduates around the country and why some parts of the country find it easy to retain graduates and some parts of the country find it difficult to attract talent in, and why employers in some parts of the country start to finding it hard to attract talent. So if you're in the North East, for example, you're an employer based in the North East, it can be quite hard to convince graduates to go to work for you. It's difficult. The North East doesn't have a very large graduate population. It doesn't have a large population of people who go to university, and it's difficult. In general, graduates are not willing to travel too far away from where they originally worked or where they originally studied. And so once we start to understand those things, we can start to think about the ways that we can get graduates we can match graduates with the skill, with the roles that individual regions require. Another interesting fact is that it would appear that much of the country doesn't have quite as many graduates as it requires to fill the skilled labour market. Skilled roles in the labour market they have. London is an exception. There seems to be more graduates in London than there are skilled jobs for them. There's still more skilled jobs in London than there are anywhere else in the country by a significant distance, but there are also more graduates. And as a consequence, London has more unemployed graduates, and that slightly distorts the terms of the debate, and also may be contributing to an issue where those graduates from the lowest participation backgrounds in London, even though they're from London, appear to be being pushed out of skilled jobs in London by incomers with no previous connection to the city.